This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing and Solar. Started my digital inspection at 23622 Springwood out here in the Ramona Estates. We like to start our inspections underneath the eave of the home. So typically the eaves of the house will consist of your fascia board. You got your rafter tails, your starter board, and again, that fascia. So the reason why we like to start underneath the eave is that it gives us a really good idea about what kind of wood damage we can expect on any project. And it also shows us how good of a job the roof is doing as far as keeping moisture off the property. So when I see signs of water coming down the fascia, it's telling me that the underlayment's worn out, there's no drip edge, and that water's coming in between the starter board and the fascia board. So I want to point a few things out on this roof. This is a concrete tile roof. The concrete tile on this property is actually really strong. Concrete tends to get stronger as it ages. But the misconception is that the tile is what's protecting the roof, when in reality, it's the paper that's underneath it, that underlayment. And you can see just how worn out this underlayment is. You can also see this piece of wood right here. This is actually called a shadow board. And what you'll notice is that this shadow board is hanging a little bit higher than the decking itself. So when water does get underneath this tile, it tends to build up and get stuck behind that shadow board. So a lot of times all that shadow board needs to be replaced. But what we'll typically do in this situation is just replace it with drip edge instead to help protect that wood. So this is that concrete tile roof we're talking about. This is a concrete S tile. Right off the bat, you'll notice these tiles are really, really tight in the valleys. So when we redo this roof, we want to open up these valleys. We're going to cut this valley open just so that we can allow for proper debris and flow to run off this roof whenever it gets stuck. Looks like the homeowner had somebody come and repaint these flashings and just seal them off. So that's good. We like to see, proper roof maintenance on all of our roofs. But this is an aged roof for sure. You'll notice that the mortar capping has started to wear as well. It's no longer adhering to the roof itself. All these ridge caps are super loose. The majority of this ridge board has been exposed, so a lot of this is going to need to be replaced also. So we redid this roof. We're going to replace that mortar. It looks like somebody came by and opened up this valley already. So again, that's good to see. They might have done that when they went ahead and did some of the maintenance on some of the flashing. But I want to show the homeowner what the underlayment looks like, because again, that's the most important part of this roof. So I went ahead and pulled this tile down, and you can see just how worn out this underlayment is. This stuff is super thin, super brittle. It's literally just coming apart at the moment. So this is what's actually protecting the home, right? And when the underlayment gets to be at this point, it's gone well past its life expectancy. New fresh underlayment is going to be very thick. It's going to be very gritty, very granular to the touch, and obviously this is none of that. So this underlayment has gone well past its life expectancy. Looking at this underlayment, I'm going to go ahead and assume that this roof is close to 40 years old, I'd imagine. This is the original roof on the home. So what I'm going to suggest is a roof replacement. Now, that does not necessarily mean that we need to put new tile on this roof. This concrete tile is still in good shape. This roof is a perfect candidate for a lift and reset. We're going to lift all these tiles up. We'll go ahead and replace this underlayment, that paper, with a super thick and sticky self-adhesive product called a titanium peel and stick underlayment. That's actually going to come with a 50-year warranty from Owens Corning, and we're going to back that with a lifetime workmanship warranty from us. Once we go ahead and replace that underlayment, before that, we're going to address any of the bad wood we talked about earlier. Wood repair is always that unknown variable, so I want to make sure that any bad wood is replaced so that we can ensure proper waterproofing throughout. But we won't know what that wood is going to look like until we tear this roof off. Once all that's complete, then again, we'll install that synthetic underlayment, that titanium peel and stick. We'll go ahead and reseal and reflash all these penetrations. We'll also go ahead and paint them to match the roof. That way they just blend in a little bit more. We're also going to be adding some exhaust ventilation to this roof. We want this roof to breathe. We want the attic to stay nice and cool in the summertime, and we want that moisture to escape in the wintertime. So we're going to be adding at least 5 to 6 O'Hagan exhaust vents to this property. These are flat, low profile ventilation systems that you don't even really see. Once that's complete, we'll go ahead and add brand new drip edge along the entire perimeter. We're also going to install bird stop to this roof. So bird stop is a piece of metal that goes underneath the tile along the edges of the roof. I'll just point this out for you. So you can see how everything can get underneath these tiles. That bird stop's gonna stop that from happening because it's gonna stop rodents from getting underneath it. It's gonna lift that tile up so it stays nice and even with the rest of the roof. And it's also gonna stop any kind of wind-driven rain or fire embers from getting underneath it as well. So once all that's installed, the new tile or the original tile goes back on, and the homeowner has a new roof that they want to deal with for the next 35 plus years. They also have the opportunity to obviously go with a new tile roof. I'm not gonna say that it's absolutely necessary, but if they're looking to change up the style of the home, then they can go that route as well. And I'll present them with those options. That is it for my inspection, but in my professional opinion, yes, this roof does need to be replaced.